Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for having me here. I've heard so much about the Indigenous Connectivity Institute, so it's a pleasure and an honor to be here sharing with you a little bit of our experience here in the Amazon. And my name is Joaquin Ray Guerrero. I come from Ecuador. I'm Equitable Origins Latin American Program Manager, and I'm in charge of the Center for Strengthening Indigenous Rights, CEFO Indígena. Next, please. Equitable Origin and CEFO is an Ecuadorian-born NGO with the mission to advance a more sustainable and responsible energy future by putting indigenous communities up front. But today, I'm not here to talk to you about energy development. But I want you to follow me on a journey through two of the most biodiverse ecosystems in our continent. And I hope this is a refreshing journey so everyone can go with a smile to their hotel rooms today. Next, please. And these two lungs of our planet, can you click it because it's a small video, please? Yeah. These two lungs of our planet are not only the home of beautiful species such as the jaguar. Can you go back? Or that tapir. I think Canva is not working. Okay, or that tapir, but they are also the home of the cradle of amazing cultures that have developed an amazing knowledge about their environment, and also cultures that keep having a spiritual bond with the forest they are protecting. So the journey we're about to go in is not a journey about just indigenous-led connectivity, but a journey about resistance. And our journey begins right here in the Maya jungle in Calakmul specifically, ancient home of the Maya culture, where unfortunately the last couple of years this jungle has been devastated by the construction of the so-called Maya train that was imposed to these communities without a proper free, prior, and informed consent process. Next, please. And here we met Sebastián Moreno. Sebastián is a Maya Celtal indigenous people committed to secure the future not only of his territory, but his people. His dream is for future generations of Maya to be able to still call their territory the Maya jungle and not the Maya desert. With Sebastián, we deployed our first community network in the Mancolona, where we tested a viable economic model and an antenna combination that will be the foundation for the expansion of this model to 4 additional communities in the same area with the objective of having access to communications for territorial defense. Next, please. With this experience, we met powerful allies such as the Laboratorio Popular de Medios Libres, with whom we were able to make the big leap to the biggest tropical forest in the world, the Amazon. Next, please. Here, we travel to the second part of our journey, which is the land of José Tando from the Shuar people in the Peruvian-Ecuadorian southern border. Here, communities withstand the pressure of illegal economies, particularly illegal mining. And here, communications can be a matter of life and death. Before our intervention, communities had to travel around 3 hours to get access to connectivity or pay for a satellite connection that was expensive and very poor quality. Here in the Amazon, we built upon the traditional forms of organizations of indigenous communities, and this did not only bring an opportunity on accountability within the community, but we were also able to leverage upon the socio-geographical situation of these communities, which is low-density population within a small area. Next, please. In short, what this means is that with a single solar power central node and 2 repeaters, we were able to connect a whole community of around 150 people. Next, please. And this was an opportunity, and we generated trust and reliability in conditions where electricity is not always available, And when it is, it usually fails a lot. So our solar power nodes had another benefit that was when you had blackouts, people went to the connectivity centers, and this generated an additional revenue to maintain the connectivity for these indigenous communities in the Amazon. Next, please. And meanwhile, while other options kept reproducing this extractive connectivity model in communities that live from subsisting agriculture, I mean, with less than an income of less than $300 a month, where paying $80 a month is not only unaffordable, but it also means that third parties are taking that money away from communities and they will never see that money again. This also places communities in difficult situations where illegal economies are flourishing, because in order to get connected, they will have to go and work with in these illegal economies, or leave their territories to go to bigger cities and leave their land in the hands of in the pernicious hands of foreigners. Next. So there, well, private ISPs, and here I mean the big telecom companies, are profit-driven. Our model did not only bring an affordable price for connectivity that was decided with communities, but it also provided the community with an additional income that they could even reinvest in expanding their network, or reinvest it in other activities. And we have managed to 96% savings compared to other private options. Next, please. But who manages these networks is maybe a question that you might be asking yourselves. And we have not only focused on deployment, but also on training. And this involves telecommunications training, digital security training, and digital security, telecommunications, and administration's capabilities. So everyone, we are not generating dependency neither on software or hardware, but bringing like the cheapest hardware available in the market near these communities, and also the knowledge so they can maintain and sustain the networks alone. Next, please. And now we've created the Territorio Vivo network, the network of community networks that now has 3 generations of trained indigenous technicians. And they are is an open chat of networks where they provide support to each other between Mexico, Ecuador, and Peru, where we've deployed our community networks. And they get support from CEFO and Laboratorio Popular of Medios Libres. Next, please. But wait, I'm receiving a call right now.
Pablo Emilio, ya decía haber montado el pupaji y el grupo Piper. En Bayona ya montaron, yo creía internet comunitaria, yo creo que si puede, yo que ahí sí igual te manca te dar y putiste en Bayona, yo creía y coco acá, yo decía vaya, bueno, ahí agradecía y montaron, y con que se vienen home. Tengo Canadá, en Estados Unidos, montaron yo creo con que yo que ahí sí vaya, bueno. Aniñense, guamayanejen, sayang pepayu kuatay y el grupo pai peticia wede, upayi y el grupo pai para montaruda.
De ahí de kaya wai, pine mai, y te pai ko wai por los seco ya pai, pine pai tanto yo mai kaya we Ecuador, pai ko wai. Hai bona pupa je sia menya hai menya internacional Canadá pa puede Inglaterra pa puede dice ya países que pupa je y na y internet pero kona lagarto cocha sadin kahuna je kamu inya hen pa je y más importante pa internet pa je gato ko ka yo de ko ka pa por el de Villa Monseña y je con que se de por acá por je si vaya pues se a ko vai hay meña ko vai de pupa je na iña ti si a we de se pa puede po an que pa na inti con que puede hay pa yo na y je Monseña ñanta so que no yo na hay je iñe se futuro ñanta so que na je crete con que yo na je que pa iñe se kwa mañana iñe se sai de kwatsa ko je Yure iya na inyekaj.
Yo kwa mañana sai kui paño y ye cato yure pi mai woni kwa kotonye kaje paño mai ayo wai he na yo hondai pa ise de mai yure yo oju y ye musanya y ye tu wi kwa koton tu wi ha ka hu a ko wai de ka a so huna mai kwa sa yo oje de yo da yo kon kai ha ko mai de mai sie ko pain kato he na pa i ko wai mai sie ko pain kato peo ko frontera mai sie ko pain kato te et yo ni pa i ko wai y ya más cañaco guaire primeras naciones vine pain pipa y guaire y ya sa roja así guaco pues paye yuscusie copaire ay hay da tiorani con yo una yuscu y ya airo pa y ya yuscuña pa pipa
pero las naciones y el trabajo yo cuere y ese indígena y quiere con el que le vaya montón de pasado y desde Perú, Amazonía, peruana, etnia indígena secoya. Dejo.
Siare siosi kwai siare siosi kwai
Siawai, Tiosi Kowai.
siare siosi kwai siare siosi kwai.
Next, please. And now that we got the Siecopai people in our canoe, we can continue in our journey. And this takes us, next, please. It's just a small animation, to the Peruvian-Ecuadorian frontier, where the Siecopai were divided by war in 1941. And for 6 decades, they were prevented to visit their families from each side of the border. And in the year 2000, they began a slow but steadily return to their ancestral territory. And here, women like Yadira and the other woman you just saw, Mariela, Noemi, have played a huge role with their ancestral ceramics technique, where they are going back to the ancient places where their grandmothers used to recover the clay to transform this clay into their traditional pottery. Next. So now that we had a trained group of indigenous network technicians ready for deployment, next. And we have the commitment of the indigenous Siecopai women. We were ready for the most difficult mission in Equitable Origin, CEFO, and Laboratorios lifetime, reconnecting the Siecopai communities. Next. So we traveled more than 1,000 kilometers by land and river. It took us 3 days to reach the first community. And thanks to the Internet Society Foundation, we achieved this historic mission, reconnecting the Siecopai people of both Ecuador and Peru. Next. And now, today we got 3,500 people connected across Peru, Mexico, and Ecuador. We have 30 network technicians, indigenous network technicians, ready to deploy more networks in the Amazon, and we continue in this journey. Next. So this is a little bit of what we've been doing in the last couple of years, what I've been trying to show you today, and you might be asking, what's next? Next, please. And I believe this is only the beginning. And we are at a pivotal moment where we're trying to make ourselves the right questions and maybe find the right answers. Next. But meanwhile, we continue to experiment. Here, for example, we're trying to use trees to locate antennas so we can surpass and overcome the challenge of the Amazon canopy. And here we have Antonio, which we are working with Tree Climbers Associations to see if this is feasible in other communities in the Amazon. Thank you. Next, please. And what we are certain is that we need to build a more sustainable financial model, so we are less dependent on philanthropic funds. But I'm certain that with your support, we will be able to do this. I come here literally with my head open to suggestions and to engage with you with what has worked and what hasn't, so I can go back to the Amazon with new ideas to see how can we build this sustainable financial model. But not get me mistaken here, because we do not only care about financial sustainability, neither as connectivity for the sake of it. Next. But we are also on the path towards environmental and cultural sustainability. Does the future looks like solar-powered hubs with monitoring stations in the Amazon, with connectivity points in strategic areas that are being threatened? I believe it does. Thank you. Next. And what we are certain is that we are on our way to connect 100 communities with this model by 2030. And that we want to make indigenous traditional knowledge to work alongside Western knowledge with a common purpose, that is the preservation of the Amazon ecosystem and the people who inhabit it. Next. So this is a call for you to join us. The canoe has enough space for new crew members, particularly for the ones that are ready to share their experience and are open to do this. And we are waiting for you, and I propose you this, like, let's connect the First Nations with indigenous peoples of the Amazon, and let's keep the territory alive. Thank you very much.